Hi there, doing a new pickups video here for the first time in a couple of months. I think last did one of these maybe around about March time, I forget exactly when, so it's been a couple of months as I say, and not going to show absolutely everything that I've bought because that would take too long, but just going to show what I think are the more noteworthy items, perhaps the rarer stuff. So we'll start with a couple of VHS tapes. First out of the gate is Cupid. This is the 2007 film. I think it might be kind of a combination thriller slasher as opposed to a straight slasher. But this is the 2007 film, not the more recent 2020-2021 film of the same name, which I think is a British kind of low budget slasher type film. This is not that, this is the 97 film. As you see here, with the fact that it's on VHS tape, that kind of indicates that it's old anyway, so you don't need me to tell you. But yeah, pretty hard to come by this one. Haven't watched it yet, which is the case with most of what I'm going to show here, so I can't really comment much about the actual film. But, quite hard to come by. Another VHS tape now, even more rare, is managed to procure a copy of Symphony of Evil, better known as Coda, which is an Australian slasher film from around about 1987, I think. Quite hard to get hold of. Not sure if it ever got a DVD release. I'd say perhaps it didn't. Pleased to find this one. Haven't watched it yet, but looking forward to it. It's supposed to be quite highly rated, so should be good hopefully. That's the PAL version, by the way. Okay, now in the last video I mentioned that I was trying to buy films from 1980, and that's continued, so I've got a few to show from that period. Firstly, Fade to Black. This has got a Blu-ray now from Vinegar Syndrome, I believe, but I just went with the cheaper DVD. So that's that. Fade to Black. Another one, Motel Hell. Again, this does have a Blu-ray, I think from Scream Factory, but again, I just went with the cheaper DVD option. But, there you go, for not a very picturesque back to that one. Blu-ray this time, and it is indeed a the 1981 Phobia. This might be kind of more of a combination thriller slasher, much like with Cupid earlier. Yeah, a bit of a Blu-ray here, which I don't tend to buy as many Blu-rays, but there's one for you there. This one I think might actually be 1979, but close enough to 1980 to be included in my spending spree of those sort of era films. Silent Scream. It's supposed to be good, so looking forward to checking that one out down the road. I think that's maybe a Scorpion release. And the last one from that year is The Unseen. I picked this one up really cheap. You can get this one quite cheap now, £3 or £4. Yeah. The Unseen. So what I did mention in the previous video is that in addition to 1980s, that I'm also buying film. I'm doing kind of dual year, so I'm doing 1980 and 2000. And when I'm done with that, I'll do 1981 and 2001 and so on. I think in the last video, the last pickups video that I did show Christina's House, but which is from 2000, but I didn't actually mention the fact that I'm collecting from 2000 or purchasing from 2000. So I'm mentioning it now, and here are a few films from that year. Starting off with this one, Voyeur.com, very hard to come by now. Managed to find a copy on Amazon, the US version of Amazon, but it was quite difficult to track down. One of those reality show slasher films. Don't think it was very highly regarded at the time, but one of the more obscure ones, even back then. But like I say, quite hard to find now. Another one from 2000, Drive-In, again one of the more obscure kind of films from that period, not really talked about much. Haven't watched any of these yet, by the way, so I can't, like I said before, I can't really comment on how good the film is. But there you go, another one from 2000. This is a Chilean film, in fact. Angel Negro, or Negro, not sure how you pronounce that. It's a Troma release, I think, but I don't think it's like a comedy, silly one, as is often the case with Troma. I don't think they actually made the film, they just kind of put their name to it with the release, but I don't think they actually had a hand in making it. It's supposed to be quite a serious one, I think. From Chile, of all places, so interesting to check one out from there. This one actually did not much to look at, just a blank case. It's actually one that I bought from a company called DVD Lady, who I believe operate out of Israel. They specialise in hard to find films. It just comes with like a blank, with like a disc in a pouch. There's actually the card for the, I don't know if you can see it, the card for the company. I bought about 5 of these, but I'm only going to show this one because this is the one from 2000. The others are from scattered years, and as there's no artwork, they aren't very interesting to look at, so I'm just going to show this one. But I did buy 4 more rare films. All I've done is make a custom spine for it. very rudimentary custom spine. But this is a very rare Norwegian slasher film, I believe, obviously from 2000. Really hard to find. The only really information that I can find on it is one review here on YouTube, but aside from that there's very little going about this film on the web, so definitely a rare one. Might review it at some point. Not much to look at art wise though with that. Next one from 2000, Head Cheerleader, Dead Cheerleader. This is supposed to be quite bad, I think. With a name like that you would kind of expect it to be like a school campus style set slasher, but I don't believe it is. I think it all takes place in like someone's bedroom or something like that, so from what I've read it's supposed to be pretty awful. I'm, like I said, just trying to go through mop up some of the films that I've not bought from 2000. This was one of them. Got it really cheap, so can't complain if it's not very good. Next one is Jersey Shore Lingerie Party Massacre. This is better known maybe as Sandy Hook Lingerie Party Massacre, but I think they had to change the name possibly because there was some sort of real massacre in the Sandy Hook area, so to be sensitive to that they perhaps changed the name to this, but not to be confused with Jersey Shore Massacre, which is a completely different film. Again, I don't think it's supposed to be very good, but this one was actually quite hard to find actually, so that was a bit more expensive. It's not an easy one to find nowadays. And the last one from the year 2000 is Paranoid, again a very low budget one in a similar sense to Head Cheerleader, Dead Cheerleader. Don't know if it's supposed to be very good, probably not, but again it was really cheap, so Paranoid, there we go. That's all for the 2000 ones. Now we're going to move on to some foreign films from random years, and this first one, Complex, I think it might be German, I'm not completely sure. It's got an alternative title which I think is more, which is or at least alternative artwork, which is like a French release, but I don't think it is actually a French film. It's maybe German or Belgian, but from Germany or Belgium I should say. But this release here I believe is the rarer one, but it does supposedly, if you can believe what it says on the back of the box, have English subtitles, so I bought this version as opposed to the more prevalent French version, which has got different artwork. So Complex, there we go. But the one, actually I've done these two in together. These are from Indonesia of all places. Waterfall of Pengantin and its sequel. I think that one's from 2009 maybe, that one from 2013. Very hard to come by. Don't know much about them other than that I kind of read that it's like a Asian version of Wrong Turn set in the jungle maybe. Probably not as good, but yeah, a couple of rarities here, not much in the way of writing on the back. Maybe they're more like DVD-Rs, I'm not sure. Yeah, a couple of ones you perhaps haven't heard of there, from all the way from Indonesia. Another foreign one, this is from Poland I think, Sparrow. This one I believe is like in English language though. It's not sure if it's dubbed or if it's just it was originally done by the actors in English, probably the latter. But I don't believe it's got subtitles, it's just like I say in English, but quite a rare one from Poland. Often talked about. Might review that one down the road. Here's another one, Saint, which I believe is again definitely come with English subtitles. This is obviously an English release with the, as you can maybe see from the tagline there, being in English. And I can confirm that the writing on the back that you might not be able to see it is in English, so it's a proper sort of PAL release, Region 2 release I should say. Not sure what country that's from. I can't recall. Here's one in a really weird sort of flat case, cardboard flat case, quite bizarre, I think from the Czech Republic, which is better known as Murder in Prague. This obviously is the Czech title I guess. I've only ever encountered one of these cases once before, which was for Zipper Face. Can't say I'm a fan of it, but I guess it saves space on the shelf, but there's no spine, so it doesn't look very good. You can't see what the name of the film is when it's kind of on the shelf. Don't like that, but that's the only way that I could get it. It's quite rare. Here's one from Sweden. I think this might be quite a short film, and it just maybe goes over the, I think 40 minutes is supposed to be the cut-off point for when a short becomes a feature-length film. And this one's maybe just over that. I can't recall the exact running time, but yeah, one from Sweden, quite a rarity. Not very well known. I think it comes bundled with a music disc soundtrack to the film, so that's quite interesting. Don't know if I can put it out. It's in a slipcase, obviously. Yeah, it comes with like 2 discs, which I think one is like I say, the soundtrack. So quite an interesting package there from Sweden. And the last one that I've got of the foreign films is this one, Paganini Horror, which I think is Italian. This is quite an old one from 1989, I think. Again, obviously got a slipcover there. I just happened to pick this one up because I saw it in a second-hand shop we have over here called CEX. Saw it in there, so I thought I'd grab it. All the others I bought from eBay or Amazon. Just some random ones now. Starting off with The Road. This is actually one that I have seen. I saw it on TV a while back. Quite liked it. It's generally not very well received. I don't think when it came out. Not many people seem to like it, but I thought it was quite decent. It's got Randy Couture in it as the, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, as the father of the final girl. It's got quite a big role. I thought it was quite fun. One or two things that didn't work, that didn't really work very well, such as things that didn't quite add up, but overall I quite liked it. Next one is The Undertow. I think it's from around about 2003. This might be different artwork to what you're familiar with. This is a sort of European version. I think the US version has a picture of the killer on the front. I think it's got kind of like a sack head kind of look to him, like a bag over his head, a bit like Jason from the second Friday film. So there you go, The Undertow, quite a low budget one, but I thought the trailer looked decent. Next one, better known one, Student Bodies from 1981, I think, more like a parody of slasher films, comedy kind of thing. And a rare Blu-ray purchase for myself. This obviously 88 films version. You might not be familiar with this Slasher Classics Collection series if you live in America or Canada, but quite well known in the UK. That's that. Slash. I don't recall what year this is from. Early 2000s, I think, maybe 2004, something like that, maybe. Don't really know much about that one, other than that's how a band going to perform in like a rural barn type setting, and then they start getting picked off. Maybe, I'm not really sure. Like I say, I haven't actually watched almost all of these, so it's difficult for me to talk about the film itself, as in the plot line, that kind of thing. Double pack here. I don't normally like double packs, but I bought this specifically for Satan Claus, which you can't seem to get on its own. But Psycho Santa is also fairly rare in its own right, so nice to have the pair, I guess. And they are both Christmas themed at least, so at least there's a kind of a running theme with them. So yeah, double pack. I'll wait till Christmas time, December, to watch those. So it'll be a fairly long wait. The one not really talked about very much, Safety in Numbers. The reason I picked this one up is because one of the things I'm doing in my spare time slowly is kind of trying to make a complete list of slasher films year by year. I'm currently up to 2007. So with that in mind, it stands to reason that I recently did 2006, of which this is a film from that year. This is one of the more interesting ones that I came across in my research for 2006, so I thought I'd pick it up. I think it's a kind of a reality show slasher, kind of in the vein of, say, a Camp Dread or a CampusHouse.com, that kind of thing. Yeah, it looks interesting. And I'll probably prioritise that one as being one of the ones that I watch first, because I do like the look of it. Next one is The Choke, I think from around about 2006, again, 2005, something like that. Again, I think it features, similarly to what I was talking about with Slash, might be kind of a band-related slasher film, like a music one of sorts. I just saw it cheaper than what it normally goes for, so I thought I'd pick it up. Older one now, from 1985, I think, The Dark Power. I'm not sure if everyone will consider this to be a slasher film, but from what I've read it is, so I thought I'd pick it up. This is a British release, I think. Here's a rarity, they're not often talked about. Again, a double pack, but the emphasis is on the Dreamstalker, which is the main feature here, and that's the one which I bought it for, a 1991 slasher film, not often talked about. I bet it seems like a bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street rip-off, perhaps. Yeah, I'm not sure about this other film, this Death by Love. I'm not sure what kind of film that is. Obviously, it's a horror of some sort, presumably, but whether it's a slasher film, I'm not sure. Next one, Decapitated. This one's quite expensive, and there are two releases for this one. There's this version that you see here, plus a German one. This is the more expensive one with the European, or sorry, not European, sorry, this is the American version, I think, with the English text, which is more expensive than the German version. So yeah, kind of like a comedy theme slasher film from around about 1997, 1998, maybe something like that, 1999, around that period, late 90s. Next one, again, kind of a more comedy one, Death to the Supermodels. I just happened to see it cheaper than what it normally goes for, so I thought I'd pick it up. Don't know whether it would be really my thing, to be honest, but as a completionist, I'll get it at some point, I guess, so I thought I'd get it while I saw it cheap. Rare Blu-ray, Funny Man, got this actually from a physical store that we have here, HMV, 1994 I think it is. Okay, and didn't have it in the collection, it was a decent price, so I thought I'd pick it up. Here's one that's quite hard to come by now, Lesbian Psycho, sometimes known as Make a Wish. I watched the trailer for this, thought it looked good, so I was trying to hunt it down and I managed to procure or locate this copy. But it is kind of hard to get now, so hoping that's going to be it's going to live up to the billing of the positive trailer that I thought it looked good from there, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint. Next one, quite a well-known one, Killer Party from around about 1986 I think it is. Probably the sort of most prevalent 80s slasher film that I've not yet seen. It's probably the only big one that I've not watched. I'm sure most watching this video have seen this one, but I'm not yet amongst your ranks in having seen it. It's probably, like I say, the biggest 80s one that I've not seen, so I think it's supposed to be pretty good, generally speaking, so from what I've read of other people's thoughts on it, so it should be a good one to check out down the road. Another double pack here. Like I said, I don't really like double packs, but this was the only way that I could guarantee getting this sequel to, this is Horror 101 and Horror Endgame, its sequel, Horror 101 Endgame, or is it Horror 102 Endgame? Not sure, yeah, Horror 102 Endgame, sorry. But this sequel I think is, I'm not sure if you buy it separately, if it has English language options, because it might be just like an Italian release possibly, so not that it's an Italian film, but that's the